Mobot is Sumo Logic's natural language interface. Sumo Logic has spent more than a decade turning raw telemetry into actionable insights. So going from a triaged insight to a natural language investigation isn't a leap of faith. Your data was made agent-ready long before Mobot ever sees it. No query syntax to learn and no need to leave the investigation. You just ask. Right from the insight, I click Ask Mobot and it opens right here. Notice what just happened. Mobot pulled the context straight from this insight. The C2IP, the ransomware hash, the host, the data exfiltration. I don't have to remember any of it. It's all right here in the what happened and the key findings, ready for me to ask questions. The insight already proved that this user's own pattern is recurring. What it hasn't told me is whether anyone else in the org has been hit by the same campaign. So with 6 words, anyone else hit by the campaign. And Mobot goes and checks everything tied to this campaign, whether that C2IP or phishing sender reached other mailboxes, and whether the same ransomware hash showed up on any other endpoint. It's running the investigation the way your best analyst would. And here's the answer. 12 users in total, and I have the ability to click into the raw data to understand what query was used to pull this answer back. That's something important to understand about Mobot, that it is not a black box and you are able to dig into the raw data at any point in the investigation. And here I see key details like 5 users show the exact same pattern, 7 users show a partial pattern, but all 12 are likely a part of the same persistent campaign. Additionally, because Mobot knows what a good investigation looks like, I have some follow-up questions that I can ask, like which of these 12 users have open or unresolved insights? Do any of the heavy-hit users show the same data exfiltration pattern? Or what's the earliest insight date across the 12 users? I'll ask number 2 because I want to understand the data exfiltration component more, and all I have to do is type the number. I don't have to type the entire follow-up question, just the number. So we can see here that the other users do in fact show the same data exfiltration pattern, 5 of them exactly the same, 7 of them not exactly the same, but what it says here is suggesting that they may be at an earlier stage or using a different exfiltration path. So we may have caught 7 of them earlier where less data has been exfiltrated, or we have another path to investigate, which we can continue doing. We see a breakdown of the 5 confirmed victims and some additional key findings that allow us to dig further into this investigation with again, some follow-up questions to continue. So from a triaged insight, Mobot turned a 6-word question into a full investigation where we've asked follow-up questions and we have now some paths to remediation. That's Mobot, the natural language layer on everything the SOC analyst agent already found. In addition to leveraging Mobot inside of an insight, we also see Mobot here on the left-hand side. Mobot doesn't have to be used inside of the SIM. Mobot can be used by our logs customers as well. And here at the bottom, we have some questions for security, observability, administration. Let's click on observability and we can ask a latency question and see what Mobot returns. This is a question about latency anomalies or slow requests in the last hour. We can see that Mobot is looking across Light LLM logs, Microsoft Foundry logs, and AWS ELB logs. Mobot is telling me that it has rich data from Light LLM, it has a comprehensive picture, and now here's the full latency analysis for the last hour. So we see one outlier window here amongst the other normal latency patterns. Here we see latency by model, and then some key findings. We have one anomaly. We have the worst offenders by latency, the fast model, slowest request, highest token count, and again, some follow-up questions. So as you can see with Mobot, from a very simple question, you get incredibly powerful results and the ability to be a human in the loop for any type of investigation.